All right.
Good Wednesday evening again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Tailgate Talk. With us, as always, out in Colorado via Zoom satellite is Brian Denton out there. He's riding high right now. His Eagles are undefeated. His Oregon Ducks are undefeated until the Saturday. In the studio here with us, Jeff Green. He didn't have a very good weekend last week. We'll get into that. And myself, Derek Long.
You're doing all right.
Most of my teams did okay last weekend, but let's jump into it, guys. Let's jump into a little college football. And Brian, we're going to start with a game that took place close to you, kind of close to you. I mean, a little ways away yet. Battle of the Big 12, two top 25 teams. Texas Tech goes into Utah. A lot of people were predicting Utah to win this game. It was kind of a, pick 'em type game, but Texas Tech went in there and kind of put the hammer down on the Utes.
Yeah. I think I kind of had a question about Utah. They looked good, but they hadn't really played anybody yet. We don't really know what they were. They showed the Utah of old, but they hadn't played anybody. And this kind of just affirmed my feeling that they weren't quite back yet. They're looking good, but they weren't quite back. But Texas Tech looks good right now.
Texas Tech spent a lot of money to look good in the
Yep.
offseason. They spent a lot of money, brought in a lot of players. Going into last week, a lot of people were thinking Iowa State was the team out of the Big 12. That has flipped completely now. A lot of people think Texas Tech is the team to beat in the Big 12.
I
Texas
heard
Tech might be the best team in Texas.
I heard early, even when before the season started, people were talking about Texas Tech could be the one to beat in that conference. Well, they might be showing it. The Big 12 is wide open, like we see. Nobody's really standing out. Nobody's really taking charge. So Texas Tech is kind of doing that at this point.
Well, they definitely show their offense can move the ball.
Yeah.
They can score. They can score in chunks.
Yep.
They score fast. Defensively, I think, like in the Utah game, they overwhelmed Utah. Utah ain't built for that fight.
No. No. And I mean, they held Utah to what, 15 points?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like Utah was. I mean, at the beginning, they were kind of trading the ball back and forth with turnovers. But then towards the end of the game, Texas Tech just said, okay, we're done playing around here.
Well, Utah wants to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it became a running match, they just kind of fell off.
Yep.
Their offense wasn't prepared to do that, and their defense was just being overwhelmed.
Well, let's move south. College game day decided, hey, let's go to Miami. That should be a good game. The Florida Gators coming in 1-2. Miami coming in undefeated. And Miami may not have put up the offensive power they have been in the last few weeks, but boy, that defense looked good.
They controlled that game from the kickoff.
Yeah.
Miami went in there to put an exclamation point on everything, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. Brian, you think, I know at the beginning of the year, you were saying Clemson was the team out of the ACC. I don't even think Clemson is the team
that didn't age well.
out of the whack anymore. I mean, Klubnik does not look good. Sweeney looks like he's confused over on that sideline. What do you think? Miami, is that the ACC team to beat, or is it Florida State right now?
Right now, Miami looks like the team to beat. I would say Florida State's there. I think they look good, but Miami looks like they're fearless of anybody at this point in time. They're playing good football. They're confident. I hate to say it. I'm kind of agreeing that Miami's the team in the ACC.
So is this what we're putting up now? I mean, is the U back?
Wow, that's going a little far.
I'm just asking.
I think we got more to prove to say that they're back. But the competition that they're playing against in the ACC, they're definitely the top of the ACC.
Cristobal's a good coach. He really is, and I think he's going about this the right way. He brings in Carson Beck from Georgia, and Carson Beck he's looking good right now.
And he's got wide receivers that are They're making plays.
Mhm.
When I said they were playing, they had playmakers. I mean, it's those oh my plays that are being made. Passes that should have been past them, one arming them, getting their foot down in the back corner on a fadeaway. Um, that little running back of theirs, he gets the outside, he gets past that first line. That guy's fast.
Reminiscent of Frank Gore when he played down
A
there.
little bit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can
So,
run between the tackles and God forbid you let him have an opening.
well, guys, another top 25 game last week, and I it's hard to say this, but Boomer Sooner is back. I they hosted Auburn last week. They beat Michigan a couple weeks ago. They beat Auburn last week, and is it Mateer? Is that his name, the quarterback? Is that how you pronounce that?
Yes,
Yeah.
John Mateer.
the tier.
That guy looks good. He
Yeah.
looks really good right now, and I think Oklahoma, they're putting it together on both sides of the ball right now.
Yeah. I honestly am kind of surprised where Oklahoma's at this point. Last year they were decent, but I wouldn't say they were burning the world down or anything. They were on that cusp to coming back after the changes. Um, I think they're a little bit ahead of schedule, especially from what they've done so far. To have a win against Michigan, to have a win against Auburn early in the season, that's saying a lot for the program right now.
Yeah, but they still got a lot of SEC teams to play.
Oh, they do. Yes.
And right now those are kind of handpicked. I mean, Michigan and Auburn, they kind of have the same style of football. Wait till they get into a high flying battle with one of them, like Tennessee or something. We'll see where they stand then. Um, I would get too hyped on Oklahoma, but yeah,
They look better than they have the past few years.
Absolutely.
Let's go that way with it. Okay.
they took a step in the right direction.
They really have. They have taken a step in the right direction. Guys, I'm going to stay in the Midwest, and a game I was looking forward to watch because I thought it was going to be a great game. Illinois, Indiana.
Man, that got out of hand.
Signotti just said, you know what? You guys don't think we're for real? All right, bring the number 9 ranked team in the nation. Bring the Fighting Illini into our house. And I'm going to put a 53-point drubbing on them. I mean,
Yeah.
Altmaier, I thought he was a good quarterback. And I still do think he's a good quarterback. But man, did the Hoosiers, they're not a basketball school anymore.
Well, Indiana spent money on the offseason.
Yeah.
They brought a bunch of little players in.
They did.
Not that he didn't do good with his
James Madison kids.
Yeah, James Madison kids. I mean, he made them look like they should have been Division One. Should have been Division One from the beginning. But then went out and got some 4 and 5 star guys.
Yeah.
And if he finishes this season out, he's gonna have a sustaining program.
Yep.
His kids are gonna want to play there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, Derek. Their football team's had more success than their basketball team in the last several years. But I didn't see this coming at all. Like I thought this was going to be a coin flip game. I didn't really believe in either team, but now Indiana looks really good. I would have never expected that coming out of this game. Like I said, it was a coin flip for me on this game.
Vegas has put them into third in the Big Ten race now.
Yeah.
Which that's
if
against that's against the Big Three.
Yeah. If Signotti keeps this up, he will be to Indiana football what Bobby Knight is to Indiana basketball before it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Not saying he'll stay there, but I'm just saying, and he's doing that, and that he is not able to pay what the Georgias, the Texas, the Bamas, the Miamis.
Well, I was watching or listening to an interview because I've been on the road the last couple of days and listened to a lot of interviews on ESPN and Mad Dog Sports and things, and they were talking about him when he was getting hired, and he told Indiana, "I don't need you to give me the most money. I just need you to have commitment and spend some money. Make sure that I'm not being outbought.
Yep.
And you give me good resources. I'll give you a winning team.
Yep.
And they did. They're giving them good resources. I mean, their facilities aren't Nebraska's. They don't have $20 million like Ohio State does.
Yeah.
But they're second tier on all those things. And he's putting a winning product out.
They're one of the top teams in the Big Ten right now. I mean, I'm not
In the
saying that
country.
you're going to see them, you know, go for that national title again this year. Maybe they do, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
You'd be hard pressed to say they're not going to make the playoffs.
Yep. One
yeah,
other touch on. Oh, go ahead, Brian.
I just want to throw something in there. You know, Indiana's been one of them teams that's like had good enough coaches to kind of sneak around there for a while. Like they would hang in with like Ohio State at the shoe, or they were never an easy win. But
Mhm.
now he's just took it over to another whole nother level. And
He's so cocky.
he is cocky, but he's backing it up. So
Backing it up.
but I just wanted to throw that in there. Indiana's kind of hovered there. It's just they never got the coach to get them past. Now they might have that coach. So,
Yep. Well, I got to throw this out there. The week prior, West Virginia, we saw them beat Pitt. Everybody thought that wasn't going to be. And you know, we talked about Texas Tech. We talked about or Iowa State and that. I don't know. What do you guys think of Kansas this year?
You know, they're quietly just trudging along. I mean, they lost that big one to Missouri
They did.
on the road. But that was a big game, and that was on the road. It was early. Now there's a Big 12 play going forward, and how many teams like Missouri are they going to face?
Not that many.
Not that many.
I mean, they put a thumping on West Virginia. West Virginia was never in that game. We'll see what they do this week. They play Cincinnati.
Yep.
And
they're 4.5 favorites.
They are 4.5-point favorites this week going into this game. So
the concerning thing I would have talking about Kansas is that they also have that as an over under of 55 points.
Yeah.
Which means that they think that's going to be a score fest.
Yeah.
Because low 40s is usually where that over under is.
But I think that's where KU wants it to be. They want it to be a score fest, especially against a team like Cincinnati, who relies more on their defense.
Yes.
Than they do their offense. So
actually,
well,
if you go back to the Missouri game, that their defense, their offense started to stumble. Their defense had to be on the field more often. That's where it went downhill for them.
Yeah, it was.
Because at the beginning of that game, they had it in hand. They were beating Missouri pretty favorably, and then all of a sudden, this offense sputtered. The defense was on the field more, and it just went downhill. So Kansas is a very interesting team to me this year.
They can be very sneaky.
Yeah, they're not out of that playoff hunt at all.
Right now, they're
you say they're kind of sneaky. They might be sneaky now, but the game's coming up. We can put them in the limelight. There ain't gonna be no sneaking around here in 3 weeks.
But you know, you look at it, of the Big 12 teams that are big right now, you know, you're talking Texas Tech, Utah, BYU, Iowa State. They've got Tech and they've got BYU this year. Iowa State this year. Those are their 2 games that they play. You know, and we'll see what happens when they get to them. You know, they're both. I think Texas Tech is on the road, and I think they're at home against Iowa State. But we'll see how that pans out. Well, moving on to our final game from last week, we're going to talk about a little bit, and I was thinking about not even talking about this game, but we got to. Michigan, Nebraska. Jeff was there. He heard it. He heard everything going. And the one question I'm going to throw to you, Jeff, right away is, did our 2 lines, defensive and offensive, fail us?
Inability to run the ball lost that game. You can point your finger at any one of those plays. You know, I've been listening to stuff, and they got knocked down to like 3 plays that caused us to lose that. No, we had 41 yards rushing on 19 attempts. That's why we lost.
7 quarterback sacks.
I mean, 7 quarterback sacks. That's why we lost. I mean, we went into the red zone 2 times in the first 10 minutes of the game, came away with nothing.
Yep.
Nothing. When he went for that 4th and 2, 4th and goal from the 2, I was okay with that. But then to come back down there, defense comes in, does its job, gets the ball back, and then miss a 29-yard field goal. I mean, it's just, damn it, it's the Jinx.
Yeah.
It just,
Well, look at some of the plays out of that game. You have the Hail Mary right before half, which
I really thought that was a turning point for us.
tied it up 17-all going into the halftime. Michigan was not ready for that play.
No,
They were not ready for that play. They thought they were going into half with a
but they should have
71
called a
lead.
timeout in 20 seconds.
Yes.
Because then they would have got a play.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
Yep.
We might not even through it. We might have punted if they
Right.
would called timeout.
Right.
But they didn't even see it coming.
Yep. Then Michigan gets a big sack on 3rd down, 4th and 14, deep in Nebraska territory. And I still do not know what that defensive back was doing over on that sideline. The taunting call, which gave a 15-yard penalty, 1st down, Nebraska goes down. Should have scored a touchdown if the receiver would have had his awareness of where he was at.
Yep.
Instead of running out of the end zone. And
that said, though, why is the end zone painted that way? I mean, you got this little white line showing the out of bounds, but then it turns red again.
Mm-hmm. But I heard a lot of people that were complaining, saying that he was forced out.
I didn't get touched.
That defender fell down.
Yeah, that defender fell down, and they were just coming into the end zone when he fell.
Yeah.
He didn't get pushed out. He didn't get forced out. He couldn't believe the guy fell and
ran out of bounds.
He ran out of bounds.
Yeah. So
he didn't even reestablish himself inbounds before he caught the ball.
No.
I mean, he barely got his feet inside.
Yeah. But Brian, you take a look at it. Michigan gashed our defense on several run plays in that game too.
3 big
and I do agree with Jeff that I think the inability for Nebraska to run the ball, but also a combination of Nebraska's inability to stop the run, caused them to lose that game, because there were several times, like even late in the game, they just let them gash through. Like, all they had to do is slow them down and get the ball back. I think Nebraska had a shot if they would have got the goal.
Down, stop the run. And that's how those big long ones happened.
Mm-hmm.
They were selling out. He got to the secondary, and there was no one there.
Yeah.
I just have a question. What the hell was Nebraska doing at the end of the second quarter? Was that a miscommunication between the coaches on what they wanted to do, where they ended up throwing the Hail Mary, getting a touchdown?
No, they planned that.
No, they didn't.
Oh, absolutely.
There's no. I do not agree with you.
They thought Michigan was going to call the timeout there with like 20 seconds left, and like
Jeff said, 20 seconds run off the clock.
No, I know, because Michigan didn't call a timeout.
The reason why they let it run off the clock is because if you have 20 seconds left, right, and you throw that Hail Mary play and it fails, Michigan gets the ball on the 45-yard line on that side with 20 seconds left.
I understand.
Left. That's why they called it at the 1 second. So there was no way that Michigan could do anything. No, that was planned.
The way that looked was not planned.
That was planned.
No, because if you look at it, Rule was like, "What are you doing?" And started calling it.
He thought Michigan was calling the timeout. That's where he got thrown off his game.
I think that was a little
Bowlers didn't have that plan the whole time. He sent Mel out there and told him, "I want you to wander around in the huddle and act like you're trying to talk and call timeout at the 1 second mark." That was what Raiola was told to do.
I think that's a load of bullshit.
Now,
the reason that is because they didn't need to go for a Hail Mary. Just try to get closer. Like that shouldn't have been the play of the game to go for a Hail Mary.
It's 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Yeah, but if they wouldn't have let it run down, they could have at least gone for a 1st down. They let it run down 20 seconds.
But if
you fail, then you give them time with the ball.
You give Michigan the ball with two
And
timeouts.
you were stopping him or shit. And that guy, he kicked a 55-yard field goal against you.
Yeah, the whole thing was weird to me.
I
That was
thought it was
just
great.
very strange.
I
I
thought that was going to be a turning point.
But I'm just gonna say, I called it last week. Nebraska was gonna lose by less than a touchdown. Close game. I'm just saying, I just didn't get the score right. Otherwise, I had it right. But they just,
Michigan had control of that game. The only reason we scored that late touchdown is because they were giving us underneath to run the clock out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they would have shit themselves when we would have got that onside kick, but
That kid went way up in the air to get
yeah,
that
he did.
one.
Which is exactly how they're supposed to.
Yeah.
But our guy went and tackled his feet.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what you're supposed to do in that. You're supposed to put your helmet out of ball or punch the ball, grab the ball out of his hands.
Yeah.
But he went after the body.
I will say this: I'm not 100% sold on Bryce Underwood's throwing ability. He did not look, and I was really shocked.
We shut their pass down.
I was really shocked Rayola didn't try to run more. You know, he was under heavy pressure pretty much the whole game. He was. I can't remember their names, but number 8, number 1, coming off those edges.
That number 1 guy was a terror.
Number 8 was getting in there too, but those guys, they were making our offensive tackles look slow and lethargic coming off those edges. Rayola was under pressure all game. I was really surprised that he didn't like step up, kick out to the left or kick out to the right, and try to scramble for 5-6 yards. And you know,
he's just not fast. And even when we did give him time, he held the ball forever instead of making a decision.
Mm-hmm.
We went out and got these tall, fast wide receivers, and if there's someone within 5 feet of him, he won't throw the ball to him. You know, they're tall. That's why we got tall ones. Throw that 50-50 up there.
Yep.
Let it go. Let them climb the ladder and go get it. That's why we went and got them. Shit.
Nebraska on a bye this week. They got Michigan State the following week in Lincoln. But let's take a look, guys.
Not having a bye after a loss. Maybe we got to chew on this shit for 2 weeks.
Let's take a look, guys. Some of the big games coming up this weekend. I stayed up Saturday night and I watched a little bit of this game. USC at Michigan State. Michigan State kind of hung around with USC for part of that game. USC travels to Champaign, Illinois this week to take on the Fighting Illini. Brian, does Illinois have a hangover from that big loss? Do you think they can bounce back and beat USC, or do you think USC is a better team coming into this game?
I honestly think it's going to be a long game for USC. I think Illinois is going to come in with some animosity from last week, and Bielema's a good enough coach. He's going to get his team back on track. They're not out of it by any means. But I think Illinois is going to come in and probably win this fairly handily. I'm just not sold on USC.
Vegas don't agree with you at all.
I just don't.
USC as a 6.5-point favorite.
But honestly, what has USC done? They haven't really done anything, you know, and they're known for being that team that is overrated, especially in the last few years. So as much as I don't agree with Illinois being a great team, I think they're better than USC.
And I agree with you on that, but you look at what Illinois has done this year, 3 wins against competition. They get the first big game of the year, and you know they got spanked worse than the redheaded stepchild did on a Sunday. So I'm not sold on Illinois right now as much as I was going into that Indiana game.
I would say
Illinois is going to have a hangover from what happened to them last week. I think they're in danger of it happening twice.
and you may be right. I'm kind of on that boat. It's either going to go really good for Illinois or it's going to go really bad. I don't see there being an in between.
Yeah.
Like I don't see them losing by a 1-score game. I see them either winning by multiple scores or losing by multiple scores. So I'm kind of on that same boat, but I haven't been sold on USC for a long time. So it's just USC is USC at this point. But
We're going to go to the Deep South for our next game, gentlemen, and you've got the LSU Tigers heading down, take on the Rebels of Ole Miss. And, Lane Kiffin, I don't know if you guys saw this, but he might have a little extra this week because did you see the photo of the LSU player and Lane Kiffin's daughter?
Yes, did see that.
So I'm like, man, you post that the week of the game. That's classic.
And it was a pick'em, right?
Mm-hmm.
After that photo came out, Ole Miss is now 1.5 favorite.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, okay, I guess that's where we're gonna go in this day and age. But yeah, so I don't know, guy. I think LSU is the better team in this game.
I haven't seen Ole Miss play, so I'm not real for sure what to expect out of that.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen LSU twice now,
Mm-hmm.
or I've seen them twice now. They're a solid team. They run the ball. They're multiple on offense. Their defense is fast. They have lockdown corners. I mean, Ole Miss better be good. I mean, they better have their ducks in order because LSU is just ain't gonna lay down.
I
Right.
agree. I would probably lean LSU's way. I think LSU's a probably more solid team all the way around. Old Miss is on the up and up, but from what I've seen of them, they look good, but I wouldn't say that they show that they could hang with an LSU
Well,
or
they haven't really
somebody.
been tested yet.
LSU?
No, Ole Miss.
No, they haven't.
No, they haven't. And we didn't talk about this game 2 weeks ago, but that Georgia Tennessee game
Yeah.
was wild.
Yes,
That
it
was
was.
that was a really good game,
That's fun to
and
watch.
I think Tennessee's going to hover there. I don't think Tennessee's going to back down after that loss. Like
No,
I I think Tennessee put themselves as one of the better teams in the SEC.
Well, good segue, Brian, because the game we've got down in the South SEC Conference,
Georgia and Bama.
SEC Championship game rematches from a few years ago. You got Roll Tide rolling in to Athens to take on the Bulldogs in Georgia. And normally this is a top 5 matchup coming into this game, but I don't think we're seeing the Nick Saban Bama that we were used to. And I think Georgia wins this game fairly easily.
I think Georgia overwhelms them.
I I would agree with you, but Bama did look a lot better in their last game after the loss. Um,
But
but
their defense just ain't what it was.
no, but what they were saying that Bama was going to be known for this year is their offense and their scoring ability, which they showed it in the last game after the drumming they took.
Yes.
Um, I still believe in Georgia more, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bama keeps it close. Is all I'm saying. I don't think Bama shows a shot in this game, but I could see them keeping it close. But
I think Bama
I'm
misses the playoffs again.
yeah, I agree with you. I don't think Bama's a playoff team by any means. But they did respond after their humiliating loss. So it does show that they might be turning that curve a little bit.
Well, guys, let's roll in one of the final games that's going to be taking place Saturday night. Folsom Field, Boulder, Colorado. The BYU Cougars are going to roll into prime time and take on the Colorado Buffaloes. Does Colorado are they figuring it out now? Have they found the quarterback they want? Are they figuring it out? BYU ranked 25th right now. Is BYU the same team they were last year? This was if I'm not mistaken, this was a bowl game last year, and BYU just humiliated Colorado in that game.
Yep. I quit watching Colorado. I was watching them for a little while to hate on them, and because they were selling a brand. Deion Sanders is not that great of a coach, and it's a mediocre brand at this point. Until he gets some wins and shows that these kids can play. I don't even think that draws a crowd. BYU by 14.
Brian, you're out there in Buff Country. They brought in new Ralphie last week. You know,
They
Ralphie 7.
they
Uh,
did.
so I don't know. What's your thoughts? Do you think Colorado has a shot in this game, or is it? Eh.
I think they have a shot because from what I've watched of Colorado this year, they're not they're not going to get blown out. They may lose a game for something stupid. You know, the first game against Tech or Georgia Tech was the prime example. Like the
Mhm.
bad clock management, everything at the end of the game.
And Georgia
People are,
Tech is showing to be a good team.
yeah,
I
and
mean, they're not a bad team now.
the
That's
that quarterback that the Colorado Buffaloes have that came in from Tulane,
Mm-hmm.
he's a really good quarterback. He's very elusive. He
not
has that,
wrong.
yeah, and he actually played some really good games last year. If you remember when Tulane played Kansas State last year in that score fest there,
Yep.
he's shown some really good talent there. I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado could win this game. There is a little bit of question, but out here everybody loves Dion, so I don't think he's unheard of his job or anything. But um, it this is kind of a turning point, I think, for him. He needs to kind of start figuring it out now before people start questioning, I guess is what I'm gonna say. So I think this is a way bigger game for Colorado than it is BYU.
I'm not so sure that the quarterback they have out there now isn't better than Shador.
I I wouldn't put it
I,
past
I'm
it.
I was never impressed with Shador. I really
No,
wasn't. If he wouldn't have had Travis Hunter and some of the other weapons, nobody would have ever talked about the guy. I don't think. You know.
well, if honestly, if Colorado didn't have Travis Hunter in the last couple of years, I don't think they're even got as many wins as they did. But like that guy did a lot for Colorado football,
Yeah.
like a lot. Um, Even the North Dakota State game last year where he made that ridiculous catch in the end zone, like he was more the heart of that team than Shador was. So, but I think now we're starting to figure out, okay, is Dion going to turn the table now? Is he going to actually do something? He's kind of in that place where he has to show it now.
He's definitely in that prove it mode.
Yeah.
Yes. And even here, I think there's a little bit of grumblings about it. Like, okay, what do we got? You know, and obviously Colorado's nothing like Nebraska when it talks to about the talkings of the college football team, but it's still starting to turn that way. Okay, is Dion really the guy? Everybody's kind of questioning that.
Well, Jeff, after tonight, let's take a trip east. Let's go to Happy Valley, Pennsylvania.
Let's do that.
Top 10 matchup,
Oh my God.
whiteout,
You're talking the den. The
two,
den.
two teams that have not played a soul this year, but are ranked top 10. No offense. Oregon and Penn State. You've got Oregon coming in ranked sixth, and Penn State coming in ranked third in the nation. Again, kind of like the Illinois Indiana game last week. Neither team had played anybody of any kind of stature going into that game. Now you've got Oregon Penn State, a top 10 matchup in a whiteout in Happy Valley.
The difference though here, Oregon has beat up a couple people.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State, they haven't.
Yep.
I mean, they're just kind of business as usual.
Yeah. But Penn State has never really blown people out.
No, it's never been their MO. Not what they were looking to do.
No, they want to win the game.
They want to win the game.
You know, Drew Allard,
They're playing for W's and not clicks.
That was
Brian,
one of the
your
best
mighty,
thing that Danny Lanning said. I'm just saying.
Brian, your mighty Ducks are going to pull out the flying V this week, heading down to Happy Valley. And how do you see this game turning out?
I think that this game is going to be a really good game. I think it's going to be a back and forth game. I could honestly see this game coming down to a field goal at the end. Um, Oregon's not going to shy away from the defensive struggle of this game. Like Oregon's showing that they're turning the table to be a really good defensive team as well. Um, it scares me a little bit that it's in Happy Valley, but I honestly think Oregon comes out on top. I think Oregon beats them.
I disagree. Yeah, that whiteout crowd. I mean, what do they hold? 106,000 people in Happy Valley, and that place is built right on top of each other. I mean, that place is gonna be so loud,
Yeah.
so loud.
So was the shoe last year when we went in and beat them.
That game was at Oregon.
Yeah,
Okay, the year before they went in the shoe then.
I was going to say
They
they played
did
at
it at
Oregon
the
last
shoe.
year.
Okay, but so the year before they won at the shoe though. Like
and you guys cheated in that game, if you remember, right?
Last year.
it was last year's
What
game.
are you talking about? That Ohio State
No,
game.
no, not 2 years ago at Ohio State.
What?
The year before at Ohio State, that was just a really close, well fought game. Period. Came down to a last minute deal.
But was it last year when Oregon called
Yeah,
the
that was last year.
take the timeout and all
Yeah,
that?
that was at Oregon though.
Okay.
But
But I'm
Well,
just gonna say Danny
here.
Lanning. I actually trust Danny Lanning more than I do Franklin. I think Danny Lanning's a better coach than Franklin, but Franklin's done a tremendous job at Penn State. I'm not taking that away from him at all. But what do we know about Penn State? They will lose a game. They are going to lose a game. And I think this is the one that they're going to lose.
now, as the winner of this game, guys, do you see them locked into the CFP? I know we got
Yes.
a lot of season left.
I do believe that.
The winner's
The winner of
locked
this
in.
game gets locked in. And the winner of
Yeah.
this game probably locks themselves into the conference championship game.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is a massive game.
Yeah.
Massive game.
This is
And
huge. And for
and
Oregon to go on the road and go into 106,000 people with the whiteout, it's going to be a lot for them. It's going to be a
but
lot.
I think that team from last year is going to be out to prove something. You know, because they did go through the season so well. They got the bye in the playoff. Then they lost. I think they're going to try to prove something. We are an elite team still in this college football, and I think that's what they're going to go out there and try to prove.
Well, it's a rematch of the Big Ten title game last year.
Yes,
We have coming in here, but different personnel on both sides of the ball too. I agree with you. It's going to be a close game. It is going to
A
come
lot
down.
of Penn State's defense is back.
Yeah. Well, they lost Abdul Carter,
Yes.
big player right there. So, and they lost Tyler Warren, their tight end, who is doing wonders with the Colts right now.
But Carter's the only defensive player they lost.
Their only big name one, yes.
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Brian. It's going to be a close game. It's going to come down to it. You know, kind of like what we saw with Nebraska and Michigan last week. It's going to come down to a couple big plays here and there, and it's going to come down to special teams. Can you make your field goals? Can you make those plays when you need to at the end? This game is a coin toss for me. It really is right now. It is a coin toss for me.
It's can't miss football.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're an Oregon fan or a Penn State fan or just a college football fan. If you give a shit about college football, this is a must-see game.
And if we come on here next Wednesday and we're talking about Oregon getting beat 63-10, like the Indiana-Illinois game, then we're gonna
Just saying, we're going to spend a little bit more time on that talk than we did this game if that happens.
all I'm saying is like there's no way I don't think that this game comes down to that style of outcome. I don't see Oregon coming in and just romping Penn State. I don't see it the other way either. They're very well matched teams. They really are because Oregon's defense has shown to be really good. They haven't really allowed anything all year. Granted, they haven't played a whole lot all year, but they
Well,
still.
despite we've had some games under, we're a third of the way in to the college season. It's still early.
Yeah.
Despite we got 4 weeks behind us, we don't know these teams real well yet.
Not all of them.
You know, we've seen a couple of them in
We're-
scuff matches and things like that. This is a telltale game here.
We're just going into conference play.
That's
We're
right.
just getting into conference play now. This is where teams will start separating themselves. Who's going to be a contender? Who's a pretender? Who's not worth a damn? K-State.
We should do that
Anyway.
next week.
What's that?
We should do that next week.
Yeah.
Tender.
Contender, pretender, and
Yep.
we don't care. K-State. Anyway, they got Scott Frost coming there this week. That's funny.
That is.
So, guys, college football kicks off Friday night. Big game Saturday. A lot of good college football to watch Saturday. Enjoy it. We hope your team wins, except for Brian. And but guys, we got a little bit of pro football to talk about. We're getting into a little bit of like territory for some of these teams. And
No team has ever made the playoffs that started out 0-4.
no team has. And you know, we've got a battle this week, and we'll get into that next. Two teams that have been a staple in the AFC playoffs the last few years. One of them is coming out of week 4, 1-3. And that is a big hole and a big deficit to come into. But let's go back to last week, guys. I called it last week. The Super Bowl is already won. Carson Wentz and the Minnesota Vikings, Super Bowl champions, 2026. Look what he did against somebody's Bengals.
The Bengals are bad. The Bengals are bad without Burrow.
He finally admitted it.
You know,
Yeah.
Even Burrow's out, that there's just nothing there. Browning was what, 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles?
Yeah.
I mean, that's single-handedly destroyed.
Yep.
Minnesota, I mean, I don't think they're a juggernaut by any means, especially with Wentz at their helm. But they, Cincinnati makes a lot of teams look good this year so far.
They did last year.
Well, we talked last week, a team that we all kind of agreed with looked like one of the best teams in the league coming into this week, the Green Bay Packers. And what do? They went in
Browns.
and they laid the golden brown egg in Cleveland, guys.
How does that even happen?
Wow.
That was their first game on the road, right?
I think that's
believe
right.
so.
I think that was their first road game, and like, it still shows that the NFL is the NFL. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But like, Green Bay, they're going to be great. I don't see them losing that division, honestly. I know
Carson Wentz.
I think they're a better team with Carson Wentz than JJ McCarthy.
Stop it.
I'm just telling you.
Oh my God.
But it's JJ McCarthy, man.
Like, find his way back in the league.
Hey, he's starting, ain't he? But
Brian,
so Daniel Jones.
Brian, I got to ask you, were you sweating that game at Lincoln Financial Field on Sunday? Rams lining up, game-winning kick, and it looked like it was all but over. But, man, how many blocked field goals did we see last week in the NFL? There was a ton of them.
And just straight out misses.
Yeah.
well, the Eagles had 2.
Yeah.
So, and 1 sealed the game. So was I sweating? Obviously, I was listening to the game on the way back, and I thought we were done. Most of the time in that range, they're gonna make it. It's over. It just boils down to, it doesn't matter what the game looks like. Philly finds a way to win every time.
Well, last year the Rams gave them a run in the playoffs. That was a good game in the playoffs in the snow last year at Philadelphia. Yeah, the Rams just found a way to lose that game the other day, and Jordan Davis blocked that kick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it looked like a Olympic sprinter running down the field to score the touchdown. Man.
But now
because
where are they going?
Philadelphia.
Yeah, where are they going this week?
I didn't look yet.
Really? Because they're playing Tampa Bay. In Tampa Bay.
And they always lose to Tampa.
Always lose to Tampa.
Always.
Because the Eagles
Tampa.
just don't like going to Florida.
But
No,
Tampa Bay is going to be without Mike Evans for 4 weeks. And that is going to be a big hurt.
Godwin's coming back, though.
Not this week. I don't think this week.
Yeah, this week.
Is he?
According to my fantasy football thing.
But Abuka looks like a 5-year veteran right now down in Tampa. That guy is just playing some great football receiver for Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay moved on to being 3-0 last week, beating the Jets, which they had a huge lead, and the Jets came back and made that one close late in the game. Couple other games last week. Denver losing on back-to-back weeks on last-second field goals, one by the Daniel Jones-led Colts, who are now 3-0, as you saw Indianapolis win again last week, and didn't even really have a hard time there with Tennessee. I mean, that game was kind of a blowout. Brian, did you catch the game Sunday night?
I caught a little bit of it. Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
the Kansas City Chiefs coming in 0-2, and they went to
New York.
Oh yeah, they put the Giants, and who also came in 0-2, and Russell Wilson just isn't getting the job done in New York. So Brian Dabo says, "Bring it on, Jackson Dart. Your turn to shine." Jackson Dart will be starting under center for the Giants this week.
Playing the Chargers.
Playing the Chargers.
That's a tough bill for your first game, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, because Harbaugh's gonna bring it.
Yep.
I mean, he's gonna line up 5 right on the line, not even hide the fact he's bringing it.
Yep. But guys, let's talk about some of this. James Conner out for the year. Big time running back for the Cardinals. Najee Harris out. Omari and Hampton looks good though as a rookie.
As a rookie,
I think San Diego's or Los Angeles, is going to really miss Harris that much with Hampton in that backfield.
No, I think the Chargers are legit. I really do. Chargers.
You're a Harbaugh fan. I mean, you literally walk around with this jockstrap hanging off your hat. I mean, you got snagged on it. You stole that fucker with you. I mean, God.
Jeff, look at it. He wins everywhere he goes.
Because he's a cheater.
He's not cheating.
We don't know that. We didn't know he was cheating up with Michigan until we found out. And we found
every team does it.
You know, every great cheat job has ties back to Michigan. You got Harbaugh, who did the sign thing and stretched out 2.5 years, won him a national championship. And then what's the second biggest cheat job?
Tom Brady coming from Michigan.
Spygate and Deflategate. And guess where he's from? Oh, yeah, Michigan.
He is.
I mean, so you're not going to convince me that boys aren't cheating. They a class out in Michigan how to fucking cheat in football.
I don't like the Chargers. Like I said,
Harbaugh.
I think Harbaugh's the better Harbaugh. I think Jim Harbaugh's the better Harbaugh of the two coaches. But
I don't have a heart. Damn it.
What I'm gonna say is that the Chargers are an all-around team, and as long as they have a run game, they're gonna be fine. Them Chargers are gonna be hard to beat. And now that they're undefeated and the Chiefs are 1-2, you got the Broncos are 1-2. They have that division in a stranglehold.
Show their true colors. The stars and the moon are getting backward in line and shoving Denver back down in the hole they're supposed to be in.
I will say this one thing for the Chargers: they're 3-0. Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos, all division games that they have won so far. 2-1, or 2 of them were at home, 1 on the road. So they will have to play those teams. They'll have to play the Broncos and the Chiefs on the road yet. The Raiders will have to travel out there or out to Los Angeles to play them. But guys, Jaden Daniels out last week with an injury. Marcus Mariota stepped in and didn't look bad for him.
He did not look bad.
Mariota looked good in there. Good back
I'm
there.
I'm just saying, like, if you go back to Mariota's career, just looking at it, he never really got a good shot at it because he played for the Tennessee Titans to start, and he did really good things for Tennessee for a while, and it just got to be where they put too much on him, and it's just I'm just saying
He's a
he's
solid backup, and he could carry this team for a couple weeks. But like you said, you start putting the actual pressures on him, he'll fold. I mean,
yeah,
that's his MO, and he ain't changed that.
but you the NFL's weird this year. It's just weird. There's no like you got the Chargers look the best of anybody in the whole NFL right now, in my opinion, since the Green Bay Packers lost
Yeah, I
the
still think the
Browns.
Packers look the best.
They lost to the Browns,
You know that's a fluke.
But
but
great teams should win against bad teams.
they should.
They should.
They should.
Yeah. I mean, you look at it in all the years of NFL, the great teams know how to go in and just beat the bad teams. It may be close, but they know how to beat them.
But yet, teams like Baltimore still get wins out there against great teams.
Not now.
No, not right now. I mean, the bottom's finally falling out for them.
Yeah,
I mean,
Derrick Henry's putting the ball on the ground left
yeah,
and
he
right.
dropped it. I mean, three. He had three fumbles all of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now he has 3 weeks straight, one apiece.
Yep.
And two of them cost some games.
Yeah.
That's
Two
right.
of them.
Huge timing.
Yes.
Well,
And you lost 10 yards on one of the fumbles. Like,
Then Lamar Jackson threw that interception right before halftime last week, and that was. I mean, there was no one around. I don't even know who he's thrown to.
I mean, Baltimore's only win this year came against Cleveland. And, but Cleveland has a good defense. They have a good defense. They just don't have an offense. Quinshon Judkins is a decent running back, rookie. But when you've got Joe Flacco under center, especially Joe Flacco now compared to what he was,
Yeah, he can't move.
no. And it's going to be, I think they're going to have to make that move like the Giants did. And they're going to have to bring out their rookie draft and, put Shador under center.
Stop it. That's kind of his new line.
Okay, Dylan Gabriel.
There we go.
He's a Oregon guy.
Yeah, that's okay.
okay, all I'm saying though is we talked about this earlier in the year. You asked this question.
I know.
If the Cleveland Browns are 0-3 or whatever, they were literally right there.
Yeah.
Like if they would have lost to Green Bay and probably next week, that decision's made. They're going to Shador Sanders. It's not going to be Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel.
No,
I
don't think
understand
so.
on the depth chart, you've got Flacco, Gabriel, Sanders.
Yes.
That is your depth chart right
That's
now.
exactly right.
But are the Cleveland fans going to start screaming that they want to see Shador?
Who cares what they want?
In the NFL, man,
If you're the head coach,
but
are you going to put Mr. Interception out there?
But if the fans are screaming that, what's going to happen if you don't put him out there? You put Gabriel out there, they're going to quit coming to the games.
I guess you're right. You got to throw him out there so the fans can see what you see.
Right. And
at least once.
If he does choke for a couple weeks,
then
we bring Gabriel in. But the fans are going to scream just because he's prime son. They want to see it. They want to see Shador. And to put butts in that seat in Cleveland to make that revenue, because in the NFL, it's all about the money. And they want to make the money, the NFL teams do.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? They're going to throw Shador out there. Now, if he has 2 weeks and he looks total garbage, like everybody's thinking he will, yeah.
I'm one of those guys.
Then they bring Dylan Gabriel in.
I mean, you could almost say I'm a hater.
Well, we've always
You are a hater.
Well, guys, another thing that starts this week is the first of 4 weeks with international games kicking off early Sunday morning. This week it's Minnesota, the Carson Wentz-led Vikings, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I haven't been impressed with the Steelers this year either.
No, Aaron Rodgers,
they've won it. I think they're 2-1 on the year,
I
but
think that's right.
Rogers should have just retired. He really should have. I don't know.
But you can tell by how the offseason went. eh, this was the plan. Aaron Rodgers was going to Pittsburgh and spend his last 2 years at Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I mean that was the plan going in. They gave him kind of the summer off while they dicked around about signing him. Uh, yeah, but you're right. I mean, he should just went off into La La Land or wherever he goes in off season and grows his beard out.
I mean, some of his best passes this year have been thankfully caught because DK Metcalf is a beast.
Yes.
Metcalf has made adjustments, caught passes from Rodgers because he's a beast. Jalen Warren has run the ball for him, and I have not been impressed with Aaron this year, but they don't have anything behind him.
and their defense is stout as
No,
as it normally is.
no, it isn't.
No, actually, if their defense was as stout as it has been in the last couple of years, they should be undefeated.
No,
But
it should be in a better position.
well, they would be undefeated, like
Yeah.
because they wouldn't. But there's one reason that Aaron Rodgers went to Pittsburgh. He knew he was going to get in the playoffs again. That's what he's waiting for.
Yeah.
He's waiting for the
And
playoffs
what does
because
Thompson do? He figures
wins.
out ways to win no matter who he's got.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin will find a way to get into the playoffs.
Absolutely.
The guy's never had a losing season. So like he knows he has a good shot to get to the playoffs. All he has to do is play decent through the year. I think honestly we'll see the true Aaron Rodgers if they make the playoffs. Then we'll see what he has.
I want to bring one thing up here, and a lot of you guys last year. I'm going to go back to last year in January. I mentioned this kid's name. I said how good he was. Everybody found out. Jeff, are you glad the Giants took Cam Scatterboo now?
Absolutely.
He's a beast.
Love that kid. Love that kid. I mean, now Wishcall got hurt. Now he's going to get the full load this week.
Yeah.
Not that he wasn't going to get the full load even if the other guy didn't get hurt anyway.
The best thing I've heard about Scatterboo all year was Sunday Night Football when I was watching that game. And I think it was Chris Collinsworth goes, boy, if he was still alive, that kid would be an all Madden player right now just because of the way he plays the game. Hard nose, goes after it, gets in there. And, that's what he did last year at Arizona State when I watched him all year. He was just a beast.
So, with the pieces we got, why doesn't the offense work?
Russell Wilson.
We're going to fix that this week.
No, I disagree. I think it's the offensive line is the biggest problem with the Giants. But their defense is legit. The Giants' defense is legit. They have probably some of the best defensive linemen in football. They're probably right.
Not just linemen, front seven.
Yeah, the D-backs are a little.
Yeah.
But they're
you take pressure off the D-backs because they're not going to get that much time.
Oh, no.
The best way I've ever heard Scatterboo described as a human bowling ball. Mm-hmm. The guy just you can't take him down. Like the guy just keeps going. But
yeah.
I think it'll be interesting. I think the best thing they can do is start Jackson Dart and just go.
I think they should have did it against Kansas City. A lesser defense.
I don't know if you want to throw Dart out there against Spagnuolo. Spagnuolo is a hell of a defensive coordinator.
He is, but the Chiefs' defense, especially up front, is not as good as the Chargers.
I'm sorry, but the worst defense in football is the Dallas Cowboys.
Absolutely.
That is the worst defense in football.
Yeah. But anybody that makes Caleb Williams looks good has to be bad. So, but no, I think they wanted to give Russell at least 3 weeks to see what he could do. But when you're not even looking or targeting your best offensive weapon, Malik Neighbor, in that game, you got to make a dip.
He got he got 3 attempts to him,
Yeah.
and he caught 2
Mm-hmm.
and got 48 yards out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, three targets? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
I'm as much as I hate to say it, Dayball needs to do something with this team this year.
I think Dayball loses his job at the end of this year if we
Yeah,
don't at least end up 500.
yeah, because I honestly think there's a lot of hype behind Jackson Dart and Scattaboo, and they have Malik
Well, there wasn't
Neighbors.
hype on Scattaboo. Scattaboo came in and built his hype. He
But
went out there as the fourth. I mean, he was a fifth-round draft pick. He went in the camp. He earned himself a spot on the roster. Then he earned himself backup. And I know he got hurt, but I honestly think he was taking over number one this week anyway.
I
Yeah, from Tyrone Tracy.
I'll tell you this, Jeff. The Giants will finish ahead of the Cowboys in the NFC East.
That doesn't make me feel very good.
They
Speaking of
will.
Cowboys,
Dumb boys.
they're going to get a visit from their old friend Micah Parsons this week as Green Bay rolls into Dallas. And as bad as Green Bay looked last week against the Browns, I think Jordan Love is going to go for like 584 yards, 8 touchdowns. And you got to know Micah Parsons is geeked up for this game.
Absolutely.
He is looking to sack.
He's gonna go get Dak and give him a kiss.
He is looking to break Derek Thomas' a single game sack record of 7. And he's going to be going all around there, and no running game down in Dallas to speak of. They've,
No defense. No defense.
Is CD out? Because he left the game.
He left the game, but he came back in the fourth.
But then he tried to run a pass pattern, and he limped up again.
Yeah, limped up again.
But
right. Who knows? They're this is a train wreck, and they're good players looking for reasons not to play.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't want out there.
And well, I will say, everybody. Oh, go ahead, Brian.
I was going to say Saquon did that for you guys for a couple of years.
I know. What a piece of shit that guy is.
I will say, get your fill of the NFL on Sunday because Monday is horrible. Yeah. Monday is probably
the worst games. What are we doing?
The worst possible games you could ever imagine in the history of the NFL. You've got the Jets traveling down to Miami in game 1. In game 2, Jake Browning and the Cincinnati Bungles going out to Denver to play Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos.
Hey, they're not just bad games. These are like the lowest fan bases.
I mean,
all horrible. I mean,
how do you not put Philadelphia, Tampa Bay Monday night or Baltimore, Kansas City on Monday night? I mean, yeah, I understand Baltimore and Kansas City are both 1 and 2, but it's
the Sea Chickens in Arizona. I mean, that's a 2-1 match, and that's going to be a fight.
That's Thursday night.
That's going to be a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and they get to Prime on Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I hate Prime having games. I paid for Prime. It's not a problem. I find ways to watch it, and I still don't like it.
Well, we kind of talked about this a couple weeks ago. I think that I remember when Monday Night Football was the game of the week. Like it was. And it was like
Sunday night.
Yeah, and like it's just like even the Monday Night Football game I went to was the Chicago Bears and Minnesota Vikings 2 years ago. Like nobody wanted to see that game.
There's history there.
Yeah, but nobody wanted to see
each other.
But what I'm saying is like Monday Night Football has lost its nostalgia.
Yeah.
Like half the time I don't even watch the Monday Night Football game because it sucks. Like it just don't even worry about it.
I watched the highlights on there and big personalities now you really don't. You got
I watched the Manning cast.
you got politicians more than sportscasters.
Now I will say last week's game looked really good going into it. Baltimore Detroit. That was a decent Monday night matchup. But what I wish the NFL would do is not set the Monday night games out right away. You know, look and see what games do we have coming up this, they could do a 2 week in
But
advance
the
thing.
problem with that is though, you got people trying to buy tickets to get in and out. And Monday night's a hard ticket anyway because you got work schedules, family. Um, so I get that. But 2 weeks, I mean, 2 weeks maybe would be enough, but it's not college. You don't have the following that you do in college. I mean, you give us 2 weeks notice, we'll pack up, we'll get there.
But let me ask you this: if say if Kansas City say they told them, hey, 2 weeks you're playing Baltimore, you guys are going to be our Monday night game. Do you think Arrowhead would be sold out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Buffalo. You think if they told them 2 weeks in advance that they were playing on a Monday night against Green Bay, that game would be sold out. If you've got a prime game,
Yes, you're right.
Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, they would be like, hey, I won't be in Tuesday, I'm sick. I mean, they would call 2 weeks in advance or schedule it 2 weeks in advance. Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, down in Raymond James on a Monday night, 3-0 teams, it would be a sellout.
All I'm saying, Jeff doesn't like them, but like a Denver Broncos game is going to sell out on a Monday night or a Sunday night. It doesn't matter.
No,
Like,
it's not.
yes,
Now,
it
let me
does.
ask you
I've
this,
been there.
Brian. Say this week, Cincinnati coming in without Joe Burrow, Jake Browning at quarterback, taking on the Broncos. Is that going to sell out as much as what it would be if Burrow was playing
No,
in that way? That's what I'm
no,
saying. If you could adjust that schedule.
no, but I'm just saying Denver's one of them fan bases that's going to, they just are. They follow their team. But like, I agree with you. Like, let's say an LA Chargers or an LA Rams, they're more likely to sell out on a Monday night on a short notice than um like a Philadelphia or a Kansas City or a Denver or anybody of that standpoint is kind of what I'm saying. I think it would help
Well,
them markets more.
I stand corrected. Denver fans, I'm sorry. I didn't realize this, but Denver Broncos have the longest home game sellout streak in the NFL. Over 440 consecutive games dating back to the 1970 year. So
Yeah.
I,
But I mean,
I'm sorry for it, and I'm sorry that you all are Denver fans, and I can't believe you got them a record like that. I mean, I don't know what you're watching. It's like Mickey Mouse Club going on down there, but everybody likes what they like.
Well, Nebraska's sold out how many years in a row? What have we seen the last couple of years? I'm just saying.
And that's dedication.
and with that, we are thanking all of you for tuning in here tonight to another edition of our Tailgate Talk Nebraska. Brian here with us, Jeff, myself, Braden. Our thoughts and prayers with you and your whole family. Bad time for you. Braden's wife's grandfather passed away. That's why Braden isn't here with us. But we love you, Braden. We can't wait for next week to get back here and get you back in here with us. And even though you really don't offer anything to this show, we love you. And
Yeah,
but
I call it a seat.
fans, please, if you like what you see, if you don't like what you see, and
Let
you
us
want to
know.
jump in on the group chat with us, interact with us, talk to us. What would you like to see? Again, as we've been talking, we want to try to come up with something. It's a lot to get both college and NFL in one packed into one. We're trying to come up with something a little bit different for everybody to do this. We are still looking for that 1,000 mark. We're looking for that 1,000 mark. I figure since we skipped a week, we get to go 1 week in October on the bet with Jeff now because we had to skip a week.
We extended this out.
And hey, you want me to host? I'm gonna get that. All you gotta do, go onto your Facebook. If you subscribe to us, go onto your Facebook, invite all your friends, invite them all. Just send out a mass invite to all of them. If they tune in to us and watch us,
They might like us.
maybe we can get some more followers. We would love to get to that 1,000 mark because I really want to see Jeff don the Oregon shirt. And I think you look good in it. I really do.
Why do you keep looking up at my green hat?
Because your green hat would go good with the Oregon shirt.
All right.
But yes, we will see you all next week. We'll try to get as much packed into that hour as we possibly can. We are so glad you joined us here for a little bit of your time on Wednesday evenings. You've been watching Tailgate Talk, and
We know
We know
sports.
sports.